Hello everyone, in Stinsdale 1978, coming from Team MP once again, and here we are showing you another great gameplay. I'm going to run a medic class here, and I'm going to do some honey badger beasting on these guys. I go 14-2, and I'm just revving people left and right, getting points, and going ace. And it just proves the strength of running with a good squad. And I'm not trying to say that you can't find good random squads, but this was a squad of mostly MP players. And we know each other pretty well, and this just shows when you have somebody playing a class each, pretty much covering each other's behind. So I had one person running recon, one person running assault, giving us ammo. I'm running medic, I'm keeping people alive and revving people. And I think our other player might have just been running also assault, perhaps an engineer, but I think assault. And we spent the whole time just running through these guys. And as you can see, I'm running the M60 with 4x scope, and I believe Magnum ammo. And I know this is an overpowered gun, and it's probably a little cheap. This is like using the FAMAS in Black Ops or something of that nature. But hey, you know, I'm trying to get a platinum in it, so I'm gonna keep getting kills, and you know, make sure you take out those UAVs. By the way, yeah, if you don't know how to do that, just take aim, try and lead them a little, because they're usually moving. Especially look for bullet drop over distance, and you'll take them down. They can be really annoying if you leave them flying in the sky like that, spotting your team, getting rocket shots on the building, especially in this map where you might have the possibility of both buildings being destructible and easily taken down by a UAV and a person with a rocket launcher or grenade launcher. Now I know that somebody was coming over here towards A. I figured they're going to start running towards the water here because they're not having any luck on the road by Bravo. And as you see, they start getting brave, run up the road with their engineer kits, shooting rockets at Bravo, but they're not going to get it. They're going to get close. I'm watching my buddies pretty closely. It does get a little harder if you're running hardcore. In hardcore, you don't get to see the little heartbeat symbols, tachygram or cardiogram. Not sure what that actually is. But when you're doing just a vanilla Bad Company 2 like this, keep an eye out for the symbols. Go rev them, get them up, save a ticket, and keep a guy running before it has to respawn. What I love about this map, the nighttime map, is that you get to see the bullet flashes pretty clearly. And that's an easy way to watch the tree line, see where somebody might be shooting at from there, and just take aim, and especially with an LMG, just lay into them and spam the spot button, because you might catch them coming in. And here, I get a little wonky with my shot, but hey, I still got him, cleaned him up. And I think I got a spot through the mountain there, but hey, whatever. Again, this isn't the quickest gameplay we could ever have, but I think it did pretty well for as long as it is. It's a pretty good match, I thought. You know, there's some slow parts here where they don't come through, but yeah, they don't have much chance here. You can hear the person doing recon shots on them. They're trying to sneak around, but we're keeping them pretty close. Make sure your team spots. I can't give you any more tips than that. Yeah. See, that's not a Rambo rev. That is a Chuck Norris rev right there. Where you rev the guy after the enemy's still alive, you take him out, and rev somebody else. There's nothing better than that, because that team, he should have taken me out. He had me clear as day, with my paddles out, not doing anything special, and he didn't get me. He didn't even get close to getting me. Now, I thought I saw an enemy there, but it was my own guy. I didn't see the name tag pop up, and that's what happens. And as we keep going here, nobody's getting close to the MCOMs. We're keeping it pretty well done here. Now, somebody did throw a grenade. I'm not sure where that came from. They're upstairs. I think they are upstairs, because there's a dead body up there. There he is. He's sitting up there, loving to sit in the campy stairs, hoping to spawn in people. And I don't know how many people are on the other side at this point, but they were not pushing very hard. And the best thing you can do in this map as an attacker, when you're up against a really good defensive team, is to try and set spawn points and stages. Get up a little closer, run a few people in, keep a guy alive. Because you see here, these guys didn't do a good job of that. I don't know if they rage quit or where this guy went, but he's not there anymore. So I decided to make a hole in the wall so that if they do happen to get up there again, we don't have just that one entrance to throw grenades up and try and enter into. By adding that extra hole there, if they would happen to get back into that attic area, I can easily chuck a grenade or two up there, have it throw a sensor ball, whatever you need to do. Throw C4 if you're good enough at throwing it up, and make them a little scared to be up there. So it's just covering our bases as we can. So decided to come back here, clean up the road, but I'm just not getting any hits, and these guys are just not pushing very hard. But it's a good match for me. I had a good time playing. I just remember just laughing with my friends. That's one thing I gotta say. In Call of Duty, make a comparison here. It's really hard, in my opinion, even if you have a full squad and you're in there with your clanmates or your friends, or people you've known for a long time. You get such an annoyance factor most of the time in that game that having a good laugh and being so focused on making sure you get those quick kills, it oftentimes isn't as much fun. The fun you have in that game is often in the lobbies. For Battlefield, for me, I have more fun in the game because we're talking about things going on in front of us. We're just having random discussions about things, and we're just constantly moving, constantly having a good time. And communication is a big key to having a good time in these kind of games. If you're a lone wolfer and you're going out there and you're probably talking to yourself, I know I do when I'm going out on my own in a solo act, but we're constantly telling each other something like, we got an engineer over here, we got a medic over here, watch out, these guys are coming around the river. The communication is a consistent part of winning. If you don't have good communication, you are not going to be able to function well as a squad. And even if you have one or two people in your squad who aren't talking so much, as long as you're talking to them, you're still going to function. So don't be afraid to use your voice in these games. Don't be afraid to tell people what you see. You get killed by somebody and nobody else seems to be aware of them, tell them where you saw them going to. You probably see it in the vanilla section here. You're going to see that in the kill cam, where they're heading, where they were sitting. Just speak that out. It's very important that you just use what you can to win the game. If you're a PlayStation 3 player, and this is filmed in PlayStation 3, obviously, and you bought one of those Bluetooth mics, invest about another $15 or so, go out and buy a pair of Turtle Beaches, or whatever you can. It's actually a decent headset. It's a good microphone, and quit using that little junky piece of Bluetooth garbage. Because I had that when I first started playing, and I did not like it. I'm not sure how they got Alpha there, frankly. But I went out and bought myself, when I had time, and bought myself a pair of Titan AX Pros. And I was very glad that I did now. Remember correctly, I saw this guy sitting here, I thought, my guy. No, their guy. And he got himself, I guess you could say he was a little shocked by what he saw coming towards him. But anyhow, PlayStation 3 owners, please go get yourself a mic, especially before Battlefield 3. I cannot implore you enough. I can find nothing more annoying. And maybe you can't talk. Maybe your roommate's sleeping in your college or something like that. Your girlfriend's sleeping and you don't want to wake her up, wake him up, whatever. Your parents don't want you yelling at the TV real late at night. Whatever it is, that's I can't help those kind of things. But if you just don't have a mic or a good headset, and you want to keep rolling around just for fun, it gets really annoying to everybody else in the team. Because for the price of a terrible game that you could have saved your money on, go buy yourself a headset. It'll be well worth the price you invest in it. And you're going to have it for other games. You can use it for things like on your computer. It's well worth it. And like I said, I had a pair of Titan AX Pros. I've heard a lot of people not really like those, but tell you what, I have never had a problem yet with my Tritons, excuse me. And I looked into getting some other types, but for me, this was the kind I wanted. Dolby 5.1 surround in them. You can't go wrong with that. And there's oftentimes in games I'll be able to hear, sound horn where it's not really supposed to be sound horn, and I'll get it because I'm wearing the right kind of headsets. So here I play Ring Around the Rosie with this guy, and end up finally getting him as a wall bang. But hey, you take what you can get. Now they've planted the Bravo here, and I'm figuring they're still up there, but I think they're in the attic at this point. But either way, I'm going to defuse and keep rolling. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I may actually go up to the attic here. It was one of these instances where I go up to the attic and try and look down upon them. But nobody seems to be coming that quick here. Yeah. The best thing you can do as defenders is keep moving. If you're sitting in one spot, the enemy's going to get a pretty good feel for where you're sitting. And lob grenades, grenade launchers, set up some sniper, and just take you down. If you keep wandering back and forth between areas, you have better than average shot that you're going to take them out first, because they're not going to know where you're coming from. And that's what you see me doing here. I keep running back and forth between A and B. And even though they've already taken the other building, it's more often than not they're going to sit there and spawn in that next building. We're not watching it anymore. We're focused on the other building. So they're using it as a spawn point. That's why I always try and go back and clear that out. If I see our team's pretty heavily covering the main MCOM station, go ahead over and try and take that out. So here we go. My buddy was using the 870 combat shotgun. And usually to pretty good effect, I might say. I swear I heard somebody over here. So I'm just coming around and trying to listen and clean it up. Again, they set another charge. I don't know how people get in when we have 5 or 6 blues standing around a building, but I guess they did. And he's upstairs, I think. I think I saw him up there. He may have jumped out or may have died. I'm not sure. But this was great. I did a little epic jump shot. Yeah, that's right. You just got killed by somebody who parachuted out of a second-story building. But hey, yeah, that's the way it goes. And I loved there. I was saying to my friend that if you heard in the audio there, perhaps the guy's like, "Hey, here's some meds." Like he's giving me some drugs. I mean, it was whispering as if the enemy's going to hear them, and everybody else is yelling and screaming obscenities and things going on around them, and the other guy's like, "Here's some meds." I don't know. I find that very funny. Just the strangeness in some of the audio quotes in this game, especially the Russian ones myself. My wife is also Russian, and it's always fun to ask her for translations when the game first came out. I'm not a fluent Russian speaker, so I went to her and found out a lot of really cool things that they added to the game, how accurate some of them were, and something like Yablachka, which is when you get a headshot, I believe. It means little red apple, basically. Or bullseye, if you think about it. So, now you know. Yeah, we cleaned them up. 14-2. Had a good time. So anyhow, this is your man Dinsdale 1978 coming from Team MP. Stick around.
It looks like we just canceled the goddamn invasion.